My very special guest has won 10, count them, 10 Grammy Awards, including 2 as a member of Rufus. She's received 22 Grammy nominations, including 3 as a member of Rufus. Add that to the BET Awards, the Soul Train Awards, and some of the best and most memorable songs of all time. Check this out. I'm Every Woman. What You Gonna Do For Me? I Feel For You. One of my top 3 songs of all time is Through the Fire. Hands down.
Thank you.
Listen to it almost every day of my life. It was the song I was listening to when I met my wife.
Oh, fabulous.
With Rufus, she recorded Ain't Nobody, Tell Me Something Good, and Sweet Thing. Does it get any better than this? Please welcome to the Marc Berman Show, Chaka Kahn. Chaka, how are you?
Oh, fine. Yourself, Mark?
Yeah. Listen, where'd you grow up?
Chicago, Hyde Park.
And when you were growing up, did you always want to be a singer, and who influenced you?
Well, from birth, I was pretty much influenced by every jazz singer and horn player on the planet. And opera. Because my mother and father loved both those kinds of music. I actually, first I wanted to be a painter, a sculptor, and then I wanted to be a nun, and then I wanted to be an anthropologist. Then
We're glad you ended up where you did. Can I be honest with you?
That's right. It's cool. I still get to do some of those things.
Now, look, I would have liked to have been in the house when you and your sister, Taka Boom, were singing in the Crystalettes.
Yeah, that was an interesting time. Those were really cool times.
How old were you?
God, something teen.
But you know what? That had to be wild. You know what? With the age of YouTube, boy, wouldn't it be great to see just a YouTube video of that?
Well, I don't think there'll be any.
No. How's your sister doing?
She's great. She's in London. She's doing a lot of work over there, in Europe, with a band she has. And she does a lot of blues and a lot of rock stuff.
That's good. So she's keeping busy.
Yes, she is.
Let's go back to Rufus for a second.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I'm going back, I'm thinking Rufus came out of a band called American Breed who did Bend Me, Shape Me.
Right.
I'm having trouble trying to put that together. I guess Kevin Murphy did. Mm-hmm. How did they find you?
Well, I was working with another band. The band was called, I think I was the band called Life or the Babysitters, one of the two.
Oh, wait, were you with Light?
LYFE.
Yeah, Life.
Yeah.
Life, yeah.
Oh, Life, yeah.
Oh, I remember them.
Do you really?
I remember that band. Sure, I do. From Philadelphia originally. And I remember playing the music up there. Sure, absolutely. How many years did you spend with Rufus?
Well, I got with Rufus at about maybe 17. I was doing a circuit, the Rush Street Circuit in Chicago, which is an old town, downtown Chicago, which is loaded with clubs. And it's, it was a real hip area.
Right.
At the time, lots of clubs, and a lot of bands were playing it. Any given night, there'd be 10 bands on that strip. And I played there, I played that strip with 2 or 3 bands. 2 bands, well, really 2 bands. And Rufus would happen to be playing another club.
Uh-huh.
And our stints were like for a week stints at a time, a week to 2 week stints at any given club. And I was working at one club. I forget which one it was. Maybe Nero's Pit or something. And Rufus was working across the street at Rush Up or Rush Over or something. And I became friends with a girl who sang with Rufus at the time. Her name was Paulette McWilliams.
Sure.
And we became fast friends. And on her break, she'd pop over and see me. On my breaks, I'd pop over and see her. And she decided to go solo. And at that time, Rufus was making a bit more money than my band was.
Sure.
And
you made the economic choice, and I guess the right choice.
Well, I liked Rufus more because I was just a lead singer in the other band, but with Rufus I'd be a part of the group, and they were doing a lot of original music, their own stuff. So of course that appealed to me as an artist, and they asked me to join when she left. And I said, absolutely.
Well, you are,
and within 6 months we had a record deal.
and of course the rest is Rufus history.
Mm-hmm.
But you've been produced by or had songs written by the biggest names in the business, all genres, R&B, jazz, pop. Who was the most memorable person that you've worked with?
Oh, that's God.
I mean, that's got to be a tough question because you've worked with Prince and Ray Charles, and you've worked with everybody.
It is a tough question. And I don't have a most memorable. They're all highly memorable. Arif, I think, helped the one that I worked with the longest, Arif Martin.
Yes.
And I think he helped to mold me into something special. He was a very special man in my life. He's like an uncle and or father figure. And I think we did great work together. And Quincy, on the other hand, is like an uncle, another uncle for me. And we did great stuff together.
I have a question about Through the Fire. Was that written by David Foster?
Yep.
It's incredible.
Actually, it was originally instrumental, and the name of the song was called Chaka. And then he wrote words to it and sent it over to me and asked me, did I like it? And I said, yeah. So that's how that song came to be.
Well, it's an amazing song. By the way, you have something very, very unique. When I was promoting that Chaka Kahn's going to be on the show, the reaction from everybody is Chaka Kahn, Chaka Kahn.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something. We tried to do that with other people's names, and yours is the only one it works with. You can't do that with any other performer. It just doesn't work. So
yeah, well, it's got a sort of a percussive ring to it.
Yeah, well, now you're immortalized forever. It was one of the most brilliant things ever done because you're with us forever. You're busy now, but you're always Chaka Kahn. Was that Melly Mel who did that?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was. And Stevie Wonder was on that song too. I feel for
you.
Mm-hmm. Man, you're unbelievable. You've played Atlantic City, haven't you?
Yeah, I think a while back. It's been a minute.
Do you remember? Did you ever play the Steel Pier? Do you remember the Steel Pier?
I don't recall. No, sorry.
But I did meet you in Philadelphia, and I know you've played Philly when I was up there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In fact, I think you were doing a show in the park promoted by another radio station at WDAS. I believe you were in there for them, and this is going back in the day.
It's highly probable.
Now, I have your jazz CD that you recorded, I guess, back in February, or you released back in February, Classic Con, where you're doing the jazz stuff.
Right.
I love this CD.
Oh, well, thank you.
And your take on Teach Me Tonight is brilliant.
Thank you.
Just the way I feel. And, I read a quote that Betty Carter, who's a favorite of mine, Betty Carter with Ray Bryant, she actually said she loves you.
Really?
In a quote, Betty Carter says she loves you. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The late Betty Carter. She's
wow.
So, I'm
made my day.
I'm telling. Well, see, but this is how great you are. Who are you listening to now?
Well, since I sing music, I try to keep my ears clean. I mean, it's like if you were, say, a physician, when you went home, you would put your bag away.
Right. And
that's what I sort of do. Unless I have a project that I'm working on or something, I don't really listen to music. Yeah, isn't that funny?
Wow.
If I do feel in the mood to hear somebody, I'll put in Miles Davis or Joni Mitchell.
Joni Mitchell, really?
Yeah, she's my hero.
And my producer here is giving a thumbs up, and wow, that came out of left field.
Yeah, well, I love Joni. She and I are friends. We've been friends for a long time.
Well, you've
and
never.
I'd like to grow up to be like her.
Oh, I think, as I said before, you've done quite well. Your music is very memorable. You've never stopped. Well, you've got lots of things going on. You are one busy girl.
Yes, I am.
And I love that you spent a few minutes on the Marc Berman show.
It's lovely to talk to someone who has information.
It's not necessarily bio. I've been in this business such a long time, and you've been a fave. So I kind of, when you have somebody that's a favorite, you kind of know about them.
I know how it goes. I get you. And I didn't mean to say bio.
No, you're right. A lot of people use them, and actually, here on this station, sure, I use bios all the time because we do 150 interviews a year. So,
Wow.
but in this case, you're a personal favorite.
Thank you. Hey, this is Chaka Kahn, and you're listening to the Marc Berman Show.
Marc Berman is a major minor celebrity in Atlantic City. He interviews the biggest names in the music and entertainment world. And when he leaves the station, he gets asked the same question time and time again. Who are you?